2025, visit California Advisory Council members. It's a mouthful, so I'm going to start calling it CAC, so it's easy for you to recognize and for me to say. So I have been a fan of California, or a lover of California, for a very, very long time. It is probably one of my most visited places in the United States, amongst other places. When I was first approached a couple of years ago to put my hand up, I was jumping at the chance. I wasn't 100% sure whether I'd be able to be involved this year, just due to some changes in my circumstances. But luckily enough, that all changed, and yes, I was able to be involved. So back in earlier this year, I met up with some amazing ladies. Our group was, yes, all female, and we went on a road trip of Southern California. It was an amazing experience, and I want to talk you through what I did as, individually, and what we did as a group, just so that you can understand what is available in California, specifically when we're talking about road trips. Right, so to get to the US, obviously we've got to fly. It's not an easy trip for anyone from Australia. Out of Brisbane, we've got United flying daily to San Francisco and then connecting on to LAX. I was lucky enough to be, when I checked in, well, not lucky, I always ask when I check in, do you have any upgrades available that I can pay for? On this trip, I was offered an upgrade to Polaris for $899 US, which is about 1,300 Australian dollars at the time. Of course, I jumped at it. And I had the most amazing flight over. Lie flat beds, amazing food, the dessert cart. You have to have the sundaes on the dessert cart, the wonderful wines. I actually slept for probably about 8 hours on a 14-hour flight, which is great. So I arrived into San Francisco and then onto my connecting flight to LAX, really refreshed, like I'd actually slept, a whole night. So there was no tiredness or anything. So I was able to hit the ground running, which I needed to do, because we were picked up from the airport. Oops. I'm going to actually go back there. Sorry, I'm going to edit that. I'm going to talk to you about on arrival and the NPC app and how easy it is to use. So NPC is an app that is available to Australians and New Zealand passport holders. You can download the app prior to departure from Australia. You complete your details in there. So that's all your passport details, information about your trip. Then when you arrive into the US, you snap a selfie and you press submit. What happens then is you are given a QR code, which then when you go through immigration, you actually get to go through the NPC line, which is not the typical line that we all are used to lining up with. NPC saves you so much time. I'll give you an example of a recent trip I did to LA. I landed in LA at 6:40 p.m. and was standing outside, ready to get to my, walk over to the next flight at 7:10. So I'd cleared immigration, collected my bags, and was outside walking to my the next terminal. It's a great app, a great thing that we can use, being Australian and New Zealand passport holders. Definitely use it. If you need any questions answered on it, please just reach out. Happy to answer any individual questions on that one. Okay, so sorry about that little hiccup there. When we first arrived into LA, we were picked up by some members of our group that had arrived earlier. So they had to navigate picking up the rental car and driving around LAX waiting to pick us up. They did really good. We met them in the pickup zone outside, and there they pulled up in this great big beast of a vehicle. It looked big at first, but when we all got in it, it wasn't that big once we've got all our bags in. So we headed down to Santa Monica as our first stop. Santa Monica is a beautiful, beautiful place to stay. We were very lucky. We stayed at Casa del Mar right on the beach for our first night, and then we were moved to Shutters, which is right beside them, also on the beach. Both beautiful, beautiful properties. Casa del Mar, my highlight there was definitely the beds. The beds you actually needed a stool to get up on. They were so comfortable. It was just an amazing stay. We were made to feel so welcome. Some of the other highlights of Santa Monica for me was the e-bike ride around Santa Monica. I love doing an e-bike ride or a bike tour around any town I go into. It's a great way to see a city, and it's a relaxed way to see a city as well. And it's great to get some exercise, especially after a long flight. The food in Santa Monica blew me away. The we I couldn't believe how fresh it was, and the influences. There were strong Mexican influences. There was also a lot of strong Asian influences as well. And it was just every meal I had was just phenomenal. It was just a beautiful food, beautiful food. I wanted to throw in some photos here of Santa Monica because I loved it so much there. There's our group. We were lucky that night we were having dinner at a restaurant called the Penthouse with a couple of the girls from Tourism Santa Monica and also Octavia, who looks after one of the hotels in Santa Monica. That meal was once again an amazing meal. We got to sit there, watch the sunset over the beach. It was just an amazing, amazing night. Um, as I said, Santa Monica is a great location, not just for singles and couples, but it's also great for families. You've got the pier, you've got the beach, you've got lots of great little restaurants and bars. You're close enough that you can use that as your base if you're wanting to see some of the other things that are in the area, such as Venice Beach or anything around that. You can even get to Disneyland from Santa Monica quite easily. And it's not that far to places like Universal Studios, or Warner Brothers or anything like that. Okay, our next stop was a quick stop. We did a quick walking tour of West Hollywood. I love West Hollywood. It's another favorite of mine. The bars, the restaurants, the food, the hotels. It's just great. We in our walking tour, we did stop at Mel's Drive-In Diner, which, as like many of you may know, has been there for a very, very long time. We stopped and had their famous $5 mimosas. I'm a big mimosa fan, so I love that type of thing. We had a look around the streets, found some really great hidden gems, such as an old film studio, like archives where you can actually buy like snippets of films, old books, that type of thing. Lots of restaurants, lots of amazing hotels. And we finished the walking tour at a rooftop bar, having cocktails, and once again having amazing, amazing food. I'm not going to be able to talk enough about the food on this trip. It kept blowing me away. So our next stop was Newport Beach. I'd never been to Newport Beach. This is a new stop for me. And one of the things I learned when I was in Newport Beach is that they love their champagne, and they like to tell you that Newport Beach drinks more champagne per capita than anywhere else in the world. I don't know if that's true, if that's just a fact that we were given, but while we were there, we definitely drank a lot of champagne. Some of the highlights in Newport Beach for me were the Duffy boat tours in Newport Harbour. We enjoyed that with snacks and, of course, champagne, looking at some of the most amazing homes on those canals. Some names that we all know. One of the big ones that stood out for me was the Gillette family, who obviously is Gillette Razors, having these beautiful homes on these canals. There were also just very small homes but they've been there for numbers and numbers of years, but they were just beautiful. It was just such a great way to see and to be introduced to Newport. The next morning we woke very, very early, and we had a mini moke tour, an electric mini moke tour. So you can imagine by this stage we've all gotten to know each other really well, so we're having lots of fun driving around with music blasting. It was a little bit chilly that morning, but we still had so much fun. Driving on the opposite side of the road in an electric vehicle that doesn't go very fast can be a little bit intimidating, but well worth it. We stopped. After that, we went to the Pendry Hotel. The Pendry Hotel is a beautiful hotel in Newport. They've got an amazing downstairs club area with some little bars, a sports room, a snooker room, a whiskey tasting room. That was amazing. Great place for those clients that are looking for something a little bit more special, that are wanting something where they're actually known by name as well, and treated like VIPs. We finished our visit at Pendry Hotel with a brunch in the penthouse with mimosas, so I was really happy. It was about 9:30 in the morning, but that's the first time to be having mimosas is at 9:30 in the morning. We then went across to a shopping mall, had a look around there. We were treated to some local Havianas that were actually made for us, so we could customize them to ourselves what we'd like, which was great, and that was a fun activity. Lunch this day was probably one of my most favorite seafood meals ever, and being someone who fishes myself and loves seafood, it was some of the freshest seafood I've ever had in my life. We had lunch at RH Ocean Grill. There is a waiting list to be able to eat at this restaurant. We once again had unlimited champagne. It was just a beautiful, beautiful setting. We had so much fun there, and definitely recommend if you're in the area to go and try it out. After that, we thought we needed to burn off some of the calories that we put on from our lunch and all the champagne we've been drinking. So we went for a bit of a walk around the resort at Pelican Hill, a beautiful resort that's got 2 golf courses, beautiful villa accommodation, an amazing huge pool. But the highlight here was meeting Chef Zach. We were treated to a cooking lesson with Chef Zach. As you can see in the corner down there, you'll see Bianca and Monique. Both of them was telling us that they didn't really cook that much. They weren't really that confident. They both got in the kitchen, and by the end of it, were making these amazing pasta dishes with Chef. He was great fun. Follow on Instagram if you like. He's definitely someone worth following. He has some amazing food. And yeah, definitely a highlight of our trip in Newport. So the next day, so we're about day 4 and now, this is where we met up with our fellow FAMIL or advisory council members that were doing the Northern California road trip. We met up with them in SLO. So SLO, San Luis Obispo County. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine that this place had so much to offer. Its coastal charm, its rugged landscapes, its amazing little boutiques, its hillsides, Hearst Castle, just an amazing place. A lot of Australians would actually like this area because it's very laid back. It has got those beach vibes, but it was just it's somewhere I definitely need to get back to. The highlights for me, we went on a Humvee tour. When we met up with these Humvee guys, we had no idea what we were in for. We were like, okay, what's happening here? We met them. They looked a bit rugged. Turns out that they were actually ex-Marines. They had been driving Humvees similar to this in Afghanistan and in Iraq. They'd been trainers. They knew these vehicles very, very well. They got us out onto the beach, and that's, I didn't really think it was much more than that. But then we get to the dunes, and we're sideways on dunes, going up and down so fast. We were all screaming and loving it. It was an amazing adrenaline rush. It was such a good thing. We learned so much about these guys as well. Perfect way to start our visit in SLO. We did a winery in SLO as well, which was amazing. One of the other highlights for me though was the Sensario at Paso Robles. I can't even say that correctly. It was an amazing light show. We were very lucky that got opened for us individually. So it was just our group there. Seeing it with nobody else was just magical. Just to give you an idea too, the same artist creates the Field of Lights in Uluru. It's beautiful. It's designed to be seen at night. It's got some amazing trees, as you can see by that photo there, that sort of highlight the different areas. There are different exhibits. If you're wanting to see more on that, on my TikTok, I've got a really good video, which was really good highlights of what we saw there. So yeah, definitely check that out if you're wanting to see more of that. SLO is a great place to add to any road trip within California. Definitely add SLO. So what I want to, just really want to go over it again, saying that road trips in California are amazing. There's so much to see and do. Anything from you can start in the iconic cities like San Francisco or Los Angeles, and go and see the wonders of Yosemite, Big Sur, the Pacific Coast Road. There's just so much. There's Sonoma. There's very untouched areas that just everyone needs to go and see. One of the other areas that I really enjoy in California for a road trip is the Santa Cruz area. Some amazing farmyard to table dining, great wineries, lots and lots to see and do. My advice to anybody that, or particularly agents, is become a California expert with the California Star program. That will give you so much information. If you're wanting to chat to me, feel free to reach out. I'll put my details on there. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok if you like, because I'm always posting my adventures. So it's Travel with Cola on both Instagram and TikTok. If you're wanting to speak to Eva. So Eva looks after Visit California here in Australia. She's an amazing resource, always willing to help and answer any questions that you've got. But my advice to anyone is, if you haven't been to California, to get there and explore, grab yourself a car, get down to San Diego, Palm Springs, go and visit SLO, get to Santa Cruz. Just it's an amazing state. So I'm glad you've listened. If you've got any questions, please reach out. But I'm happy to answer any questions for anyone. Thanks. Bye.